The IB exhibition is a journey we take to demonstrate our ability to use education to make a difference in this world. The exhibition is a culminating event in every international baccalaureate school where we demonstrate our understanding of the essential elements of the IB program.
And choose a service-oriented action as a rite of passage before entering middle school. The exhibition is an educational process, not just a project. The focus is on self-discovery and on our contributions we make to the world as a compassionate, lifelong learner.
The issue of water is a global concern as well as vital to Carlsbad. Water is important to our city's health and economy. We live near the ocean and 3 lagoons. These are big draws for living as well as tourism and require safeguarding and maintenance. At Jefferson, we start learning about the importance of water beginning in the 1st grade with our inquiry unit on the ocean. We then move on to learn about weather and other inquiry units on how our planet is being affected by humans.
By the time we begin 5th grade, we are out on an oceans research vessel. We learn how to take and test water samples for pH, nitrates, phosphates, and dissolved oxygen. We must learn to dissect wildlife to look for bioindicators on the health of the water.
We then go out into the fields such as our lagoons or ocean to collect and report on the water quality in Carlsbad. We then present our findings at the Kids Conference on watersheds in Orange County.
When it's time for exhibition, we think locally and globally. We choose an area of research in which we would like to further explore and decide on an action that we can take.
Exhibition can be very interesting.
What I found most interesting was so many things that could harm the ocean environment.
Actually constructing and building that tank and putting the fish in and letting the water sit, that was probably more of the most interesting parts.
The interesting part was researching and finding new ideas.
All the pollution by oil, just like 1 gallon of oil can contaminate 1 million gallons of water.
I found shocking that there was so many oil spills, about 1.3 million gallons of oil spills each year.
And so if like global warming melted the Antarctic ice sheet and all the ice shelves, basically the water level would rise up 284 feet.
So the most interesting part of exhibition was learning new things about oil spills and how much they impact wildlife and their environments and how oil spills can decrease a population of animals.
I think the interesting part was presenting it to other people because all the work you did just leads to that part. So it's kind of like the finale.
Our action was the most interesting because we did aquaponics. We got to have live fish and we got to see them feed plants and grow plants. So that was really fun.
We also faced some challenges through the process.
I think I would have done my model a little bit differently.
The most difficult part was finding some research about my topic.
I would probably be more flexible with my teammates.
Probably staying on task because most of the time everyone was like, we gotta do this and we gotta do this, because she would assign like 5 things at a time because we were like in a hurry because there was only 2 weeks left.
The most difficult thing was finding the right websites to find the right information to put in my essay.
At exhibition night, we present our research and action pieces. We reflect on the process.
Fun part was most likely like presenting last night presenting, because you just get to tell everyone about what you've been doing this whole time.
I think the most fun part was doing the model because I got to express what I thought about it. So I did the oil spill. I put some oil in water and I let the kids know how hard it was to take out the oil.
A project was about storm drains and how to put a catch basin, a netting around it so it wouldn't drain to the ocean, pollute animals and stuff. I'm using green infrastructure, so stuff from nature to not get it to drain to the ocean.
Well, our project was vertical versus horizontal farming, and my favorite model to make was the fish model, where you had a fish at the bottom of the model and its urine and waste goes up to the plant, and then the plant uses that as food, and then The plant acts as food for the fish, and it cleans the fish's water.
We take time to reflect and think about how to improve on research and presenting skills.
The reflection, because you really had to be as honest as you could.
The most fun part was working with my group and learning new things of what they research and what I've researched. We discovered many new things about how animals can get affected, as she was explaining that when birds' feathers get covered in oil, they can lose their ability to keep warm, and they are not able to fly away, so there's no really way of them be able to stay safe, so they can get hypothermia and even die because of it if they're not cleaned in time.
I think what we found interesting is how we work together and how we solved problems. One thing we would do different is kind of practice a little bit more. Because me personal kept on saying, hey Case, what is this again? I should have probably memorized that a little bit more.
Actions, big or small, make a difference.
Yeah, so we had 3 action pieces, which was 2 models, and then we read to first graders, and then we made up questions, and we gave them a sheet of stickers if they got it right. It was a whole book about trash going down storm drains and then ending up in the ocean.
Well, my topic was polar ice caps melting. So I decided to look up what's happening with the polar bears and why the ice is melting and the water and the sea levels rising.
So our action was aquaponics, and aquaponics is like hydroponics, growing plants without using soil in a fish tank of water.
Well, my action was to show some of the kids how an oil spill would leak out or spread out, and I would tell them when it's a thin layer it would float at the top, but if it was heavy oil, it would go to the bottom, and that can harm ocean animals.
That you can actually help storm drains by actually putting vegetation around it, and I actually learned a new form of pollution, which is fatbergs.
It is important that everyone takes action.
We could use solar-powered equipment. We could start using bikes and walking instead of using cars, because cars use oil.
One thing that I would have done if I knew more about this before is that we should use paper bags instead of plastic bags, because plastic bags are also made out of oil and they can harm the environment, and most people, they don't really reuse the bags, they just get more, and even though now they charge you, we shouldn't be really using plastic bags because they affect the environment already.
Remember to use your education to be the change that you want to see in the world.